I think what's important today is for you to understand the difference between continuous review, kasi doon tayo nanggaling, no, back order and stock out, and periodic review. Di ba? So sabi natin sa continuous review is a planning horizon, usually 1 year, and then marami kang cycles. Okay, marami kang inventory and decision cycles that you have to make decisions, no, during that planning horizon. For the periodic review model naman, ang focus natin is on one inventory cycle lang. So dito sa drawing natin, ito yun. Okay? Kung nakikita ninyo, wait lang ha. Okay. So if you see here, ito yung isang inventory cycle, no? You have, for periodic review models, meron kang tinatawag na inventory review. Ito yung time, parang if you're exposed to warehouse, ito yung time na parang nag-physical count ka. Okay, nag-physical count ka, lahat ng inventory mo sa warehouse, binibilang mo at nire-review mo yung inventory level. So, dito nangyayari yon, dito nagsa-start. Okay? So, ngayon, pag nag-inventory review ka, the assumption of this model is that tapos mo on the same day. Kung nag-review ka dito, tapos yan. Okay? And then, kung monthly yung cycle mo, ibig sabihin, magre-review ka ulit dito. Okay? Magre-review ka ulit dyan. So, dan nyo tong cursor ko ha. Okay? So, the period in between two reviews, two successive inventory reviews or physical count would be called TR. Okay? Yan yung TR. Example lang itong mga nakasulat sa baba. Will be called TR. So, yan yung review period mo. The time that elapsed between two reviews. Okay? So, yan yung TR. Now, ngayon, after mag-review ka, for example, dito nag-review ka, di ba? So, syempre, may susunod na review. Let's say, after 2 weeks, in this example, 2 weeks yung review period ko. After 2 weeks, nag-review ka ulit. Ang important dito sa periodic review model is, at the time of the review, nag-review ka dito, nag-review ka dito, nag-review ka dito. When I say review, tinitignan mo yung inventory level mo. Okay? So let's just assume one product to simplify it. No? Tinitignan mo yung inventory level mo. So nag-review ka ulit dito. So again, the time that elapsed is the review period. Pag nag-review ka, mag-order ka, mag-place ka na ng order. And for periodic review models, you have a target inventory level to maintain. And this is very practical, and this is, I think, the most widely adopted, no, sa mga warehouses ngayon. Meron kang tinatawag na M. M is your target inventory level. And this target inventory level is usually based on sales or withdrawal from the warehouse. Diba? So, meron kang tina-target, let's say, if you know that sales is, let's say, 5 units per day, may tina-target ka certain number of days sales, let's say 14 days worth of sales. So kung 5 units per day ang sales mo or withdrawal mo from the warehouse and 14 days sales ang gusto mong establish, your target inventory would be 70 at any time, di ba? 70. 14 times 5, di ba? Kasi 14 days, 5 units per day, 70 yon. So yun yung M mo. May target ka palagi. So every time na nagre-review ka here, nagre-review ka here, nagre-review ka dito, nagre-review ka dito, if the inventory level of the product is below 70, mag-o-order ka. Kahit na 65 yan, below siya doon sa target mo na 70 or yung M, mag-o-order ka. Okay? Pero pag nag-order ka kasi, let's say, focus tayo dito. Nag-review ka dito at the end of week 2. Okay? Ang next review mo sa week 4 pa. Nag-review ka dito, pero nung nakita mo yung inventory level mo, let's say your target is 70. Yung M mo is 70. Nung nakita mo yung inventory level mo dito, 40. Mag-order ka na agad dito. This would trigger purchasing to order 30 units more to bring up the level back to 70. So kung 40 yung nakita mo dito, order ka ng 30. Ang problema, pag nag-order ka ng 30, hindi naman agad darating yung in-order mo. May lead time si supplier. So let's say, the lead time, itong period na to, nakalagay dito, LT, itong naka-red. Let's say the lead time is 1 week. So, just like the continuous review model, during the lead time, may demand ka eh. Yung X mo doon sa continuous review model. May demand ka during the lead time. Nade-deplete. So, ito yung demand mo. Itong vertical line na to, ito, of this triangle, ito vertical line, that would be your demand. Okay, during lead time. So, therefore, if upon review, you see that you have 40 units left. Okay, 40 units left in inventory. And you ordered 30 to bring it up to 70, no, your target inventory. By the time you get here, when the supplier delivers your order to you, hindi na 40. Hindi na 40 yung inventory na natira sa'yo. Nung binilang mo, 40 eh. Nung nag-review ka, 40. Pero nung dumating yung stocks na in-order mo, yung 30 na in-order mo, hindi na 40. Pwedeng because of this demand, okay, nabawasan na. Baka 15 na lang ang natira. Okay? So therefore, kung 15 na lang ang natira at 30 yung in-order mo, this level will now be 45 lang. Tama? 15 plus 30 would be 45 lang. Okay? So yan yung M minus mu na level. Okay? Therefore, laging ang maximum inventory mo lang for a periodic review model will always be the target minus the average demand during lead time. Okay? So, nakita nyo to. I want you to focus here. Nakita nyo to? Itong purple. Itong purple. Okay? Kung nakikita nyo yung purple na yan, ano? Okay, lahat ito. Ito yung demand during lead time eh. Ito yung slope ng demand during lead time. Yan, slope ng demand during lead time. Ibig sabihin, negative slope yan, ibig sabihin, nauubos, nade-deplete yung inventory mo habang iniintay mo yung order mo dumating. Okay? Etong mga to, throughout the whole planning horizon, kung i-consider natin yung buong planning horizon, may average yan eh. Okay? But since we are considering one cycle lang. Okay, which is ang isang cycle natin sa periodic review model is the review period plus the lead time. Hanggang dito lang tayo. So kung ang review period natin ay 2 weeks at ang lead time natin to receive what we order is 1 week, one inventory cycle or one decision cycle is just denoted by TR plus L, which is the lead time. I hope that is clear. So, ang difference nito is ang isang cycle natin, isang decision cycle natin is TR plus L. Okay? So, let me write that down. One decision cycle for periodic review models is equal to your review period hanggang sa makadating siya. Okay? Hanggang sa makadating yung item na in-order mo. That's TR plus L. Kaya, very important itong TR plus L na to sa derivation. Okay? So, again, we will be focusing on the average. So, tingnan na lang natin ito, itong TR na to plus L, no? So, 3 weeks. Focus lang tayo doon sa average demand during lead time. Okay? And that will be your mu. Okay, that would be your mu. So remember, mu is your average demand during lead time. So therefore, yung maximum inventory mo when your order comes in will not be M. Okay? Kasi by the time na dumating siya, nabawasan na kasi yung review level mo. Nung nag-review ka, may inventory level yan eh. Yan yung red. Yan yung reorder point inventory level at the time of review. Yun yung nabilang mo. Okay? Yan yung nabilang mo, physical count mo. So, at the time na dumating, yung physical count mo, iba na. Di ba? Kaya, ibabawas mo pa doon sa level na yon yung mu. Kaya, pag dumating siya, since ang target inventory level mo is M, okay? M minus mu na lang ang matitira sa inventory mo. So again, going back to my example, nag-review ka, you have 40 left. Tama ba? 40 ba sinabi ko? 30? Nakikinig ba kayo? 40 o 30 sinabi ko?
40 po.
You have 40 left. So, at this point, at this time na nag-review ka, you will ask purchasing to order 30 kasi 70 yung M mo. Okay, yung target inventory na gusto mong i-maintain is 70. So you will order 30. But by the time the 30 pieces you ordered is delivered, ang natira na lang sa inventory mo, instead of 40, sabi ko kanina, 15 na lang. 15 na lang ang natira. So therefore, idagdag mo yung 30 na in-order mo, it would increase your inventory level to 45 and not 70. Diba? So the target is 70, but because of this mu, itong purple na to, na deplete yung demand natin, 45 na tira. That is your M minus mu. And then, this cycle, itong cycle na to, one decision cycle, repeats itself. Okay? So every period na yan, kasi meron kang periodic review na ginagawa. Okay? So again, this one is coming from here, no? Period 0 to, let's assume last year, merong demand dyan, so nag-start ka dito, so may lead time ka, nag-order ka dito, may lead time ka, tumaas to M minus mu yung inventory mo. Tapos, after 2 weeks, okay, magre-review ka na naman dito. Lahat ng mga may red na circle, yan yung mga time na nag-review ka at makukuha mo yung inventory level at the time of review. And that becomes the basis for the quantity you will order. Okay, so the quantity that you will order is always dependent on your target inventory. Okay, you want to fill it up to this target. Okay, but because of this demand during lead time, the maximum inventory when you fill it up will be M minus mu. And that cycle continues. Okay, any question? So the red is the order point level, lahat ng mga red. Lahat ng mga purple is defined here. That's the slope of the demand. Okay, slope of the demand during lead time. At lahat ng mga ito, you will see, di ba? Iba-iba yung length nito. Okay, iba-iba yung length. Bakit? Why do you think iba-iba yung... Okay, siguro, let me ask this question muna. At this point, after you review your inventory, alam mo na kung ano yung level, di ba? You will place an order. May order quantity ka na sasabihin kay purchasing, di ba? Question, at every review period, do you think that order quantity is the same?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because, sir, as mentioned before in the other models, demand varies po.
Demand varies and therefore, ano yung factor for you to determine your order quantity? Based on yung kinuwento ko kanina. Ano yung factor to determine the order quantity? Nag-review ka dito, nagbilang ka. May count ka, di ba? Then you will order. Nag-review ka dito, may count ka, then you will place an order. Nag-review ka dito, may count ka, then you will place an order. Yung order mo dito dadating after lead time. Dadating dyan. Okay. How many will you order after doing the count? Okay. So, if hindi alam ang sagot, ito yung main feature, itong M. Remember, I told you, M is a target inventory level that you set for every product you have in your warehouse. Ito yung gusto mo na meron ka. Bakit mo tina-target sa M? Kasi, alam mo yung sales or yung withdrawal or yung demand mo every day. And your target is a function of the daily sales or withdrawal or demand. So, alala niyo yung example ko, di ba? 5 units per day ang demand. Okay? So, alam mo na yung expected mo na demand, 5 units per day. And your policy is to keep or maintain 14 days of sales. Example ko lang yan, 14 days worth of demand. So if demand is 5 per day, 14 days worth is 14 times 5, tama? And that's why I came up to the value of 70 kanina sa example ko. So sa target inventory level mo na 70, naka-factor na doon yung expected demand. So in a way, tama na demand yung factor. Di ba? Pero what would help you determine how many to order after knowing that there are 40 units left in your inventory during the review is your target. So if you're targeting M equals 70, then, and you have 40, then it tells you to review, to order how much?
30.
30. And you got that by subtracting M minus the level of inventory upon review, which is 40. Di ba? Yun yung example ko kanina. 70 minus 40 would tell you that you should order 30. Pero ang ina-explain ko nga, dahil may demand dito, okay, kahit mag-order ka ng 30, you will not be able to bring it up to 70, to the target. Kasi nga, may demand ka dito. So ibabawas mo pa dun sa 70 yung demand during lead time. Kaya 70 minus mu, the average during lead time. Is that clear? Kaya itong yellow na ito is M, if you can still read it, no, it's M minus the reorder point inventory level. So ang reorder point inventory level is during the review. Okay? So the inventory level during the review, isa-subtract mo doon sa target mo, that would tell you how much you will order. Ito. Okay? Ito yung how much you will order. Itong mga naka-yellow na to. Okay? Mapapansin ninyo, yung how much you will order is not the same every cycle. Diba? Every decision cycle, pwedeng mag-iba-iba yan. Bakit pwedeng mag-iba-iba? Kasi at the time of review, pag nag-physical count ka, di ba, hindi naman pare-pareho yung magiging count mo every review period. Tama? So, kunyari, nag-review ka dito, nagbilang ka, 40. Nag-review ka dito, after 2 weeks, since random ang demand, nagbilang ka, pwedeng hindi 40 yan, pwedeng lower than 40. Diba? Pwedeng 20 lang ang nabilang mo. In which case, you will order more. Diba? To fill it up to the target level. Pag 40 ito, you will order this much. Pag 20 lang ito, you'd have to order more to fill it up to 70. Diba? Tapos pag nag-review ka ulit dito, nakita mo 50 ang natira, you will order less. Kasi 70 yung target mo, 20 lang orderin mo. Naiintindihan ba, class?
Yes po, sir. Mas clear na po.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that leads me to this portion here. How do you now differentiate continuous review versus periodic review? So again, the highlight of a periodic review model is the setting of this target. Parang ito yung kailangan mong i-decide sa periodic review model. You don't even need to decide on the order quantity, unlike the continuous review. Kasi sabi ko nga, itong order quantity na ito, itong naka-yellow, is determined by how much is left in inventory upon review and the target inventory level. Kaya ang kailangan nating i-decide for a periodic review model is M. Yan yung kailangan i-decide ng bawat warehouse management or bawat company. So ito yung isosolve natin for periodic review models. We need to determine what the target inventory level is, because if we know this, we will now be able to determine the order quantity every cycle. So we only determine this once per cycle. No? Kasi kapag nag-change na yung demand pattern, pwedeng magbago to. At most likely magbabago yung M. So M is only true, okay, if the demand pattern or the randomness of demand remains the same. Okay? So at every review, you determine the inventory level, yung physical count na, and place an order to bring the inventory level back to M, which is what you decided on as the target level. Okay? Kaya, the decision as to how much to order is placed here upon review, not after the lead time. Kasi dapat after the demand during lead time, nakapag-order ka na di ba? Para dumating siya. Dapat alam mo na itong quantity na to. Okay, so it brings me to this portion here. Two very important decisions in inventory models or inventory management studies involve these two questions. When to order and how much to order. Okay, when to order and how much to order. So for continuous review, mapapansin ninyo, yung when to order, kailan ka ba mag-order? Di ba sa continuous review, kung maalala ninyo, back order and stock out cost, di ba? Meron kang reorder point level. Inventory level yon. So kunyari, ang inventory level mo ngayon is 100. Tapos nag-decide ka, di ba? Di ba in continuous review, I taught you how to compute Q star and R. Kasi yan yung two major decisions for continuous review. Q star and R. Ito yon. Q star and R. Yan yung dalawang kinompute natin. So pag na-compute mo na yung R, okay, you now monitor the inventory level. So ibig sabihin, let's say, the computed R, reorder point level is 30. You have 100 now. Okay, you have 100 now. So hindi ka mag-order, hindi ka magpe-place ng order until umabot ng 30 yung inventory level mo. Is that clear? Yun ang ibig sabihin ng R. You will not place an order until you see that your inventory level is already 30 or less. Yan yung trigger point mo. Pag palapit na siya sa 30, pwede ka na mag-order. Is that clear? Kaya that R answers when to order. You only order if the inventory level that you're monitoring is already close to or R, at the level of R. Okay, that's when to order. Is that clear?
Yes, boss.
Okay, and then R tells you when to order, but it does not tell you how much to order. Sasabihin lang niya, ops, trigger point, mag-order ka na. Kasi 30 units na lang natitira sa inventory. Okay? How much to order is now answered by Q star. Okay? You determine every cycle ano dapat yung order quantity that would make sure that your expected annual cost is minimum. Kaya nag-differentiate tayo, di ba? Nag-Leibniz rule tayo. Nag-differentiate tayo ng EAC, expected annual cost, to make sure that the order quantity Q is the one that will optimize or minimize the expected annual cost. So together, these two decisions will now answer the two basic inventory questions: when to order and how much to order. And as we can see, in continuous review models, etong when to order na to, kailan ba tayo mag-order? Yung how much time it would take before makakaabot siya doon sa level na R na yon is variable. Okay? Kaya variable time period. In other words, hindi ko masasabi no na I should order every 2 weeks. I cannot say that for a continuous review model kasi it depends on the demand, 'di ba? So kunyari 100 yung level mo ngayon, gaano katagal bago siya maging 30? Yan yung trigger point mo, 30. Di ba? Gaano katagal bago ma-consume yung 70 units, yung 100 minus 30. Di ba? So, minsan, it takes 1 week lang kapag may surge in demand. Minsan, it would take 2 weeks kapag medyo mabagal yung demand. So, when to order actually is variable yung time period mo. So, pwedeng nag-order ka ngayon, then after another week, mag-order ka na naman kasi na-hit na yung trigger point mo na R equals 30. Di ba? Pero sa susunod na order mo, 2 weeks yung nagdaan kasi bago naging 30, it took 2 weeks. So, yun yung variable time period. Okay? Sa continuous review models. Pero yung Q natin is a single value. It's a fixed order quantity. That's the order quantity that will minimize EAC. So, it's fixed for continuous review models. So, tingnan na, clear ba yan yung dinidiscuss ko sa continuous review?
Yes, sir.
Tingnan naman natin sa periodic review, yung diniscuss ko kanina. Sa periodic review, when you ask, when do you order? Okay? Am I correct in saying na it's fixed? Kasi yung when to order, kailan ka ba mag-place ng order is obvious. Dahil may TR ka, may review period ka, you review here, you review here. After every 2 weeks, example, you review. At the time of your review, anong sabi natin? You determine your inventory level and what you do? You place an order to bring it back to your target level na M. So, you know very well when you are going to order. Wala kang inventory level na hinihintay to trigger you to order. Okay? You're not waiting for anything. At any inventory level upon review, you will order as long as the inventory level is below M, below the target level of M. Okay? So, if M is 70, and then nag-review ka, 65 yan, mag-order ka pa rin kasi kulang ng 5 eh. Okay? So wala kang iniintay na target inventory level to trigger you. What triggers the placement of an order is the review, is the conduct of the review. So therefore, sa periodic review model, alam ko kung kailan, when to order. Alam ko na I will order sa week 2, I will order sa week 4, I will order sa week 6. I hope that's clear. That's why, nakalagay dito, you order every TR, every review period. Okay? And this is fixed. Hindi siya variable. Wala ka kasing iniintay na level eh. Okay? Basta every TR, every 2 weeks, fixed, mag-order ka. Fixed time period yan. Now, the next question is, how much to order? So as I've said, yung how much to order is this yellow. Diba? Etong yellow na to. And you will see the length of the lines, iba-iba. Depende yan sa kung ano yung remaining inventory at the time of review at saka ano yung target mo. And that's why itong yellow line is M minus how much is remaining of the inventory during review. Okay? So in that sense, unlike the continuous review where Q is fixed, dito yung how much to order mo is defined by this formula M minus inventory level at time of review. And therefore, since M is fixed, target mo yan eh, fixed yan. But the inventory level at the time of review is variable. Agree kayo class? Variable ito? Every time nagre-review kayo, pwedeng yung count mo iba?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
since this is variable and this is fixed, the difference is variable. That means that every time you will tell purchasing to order for this product, the quantity may vary for every decision cycle. Okay? Pwedeng mag-iba-iba. So yan yung difference ngayon between continuous review and periodic review. Okay? Variable time period sa continuous, sa periodic review, every TR, fixed time period. Tapos, fixed quantity queue sa continuous, pero dito, variable ang order quantity and it is dictated by the inventory level at the time of review. Okay? And another difference here is that the decision for continuous review involves R and Q, whereas the decision for periodic review involves M lang. M lang ang kailangang usually tinatanong, ano yung target inventory level mo? Okay? Can I proceed?
Yes, po, sir.
Okay, so that's the main difference. So if that is understood, then we go now, okay, to these variables as defined in your slide. Okay. So makikita natin, TR is the elapsed time, na-discuss ko na to. M, na-discuss ko na, yan yung target level which we want to restore our inventory levels to. Ano ba ito? Inventory at the time of review, itong IR. So, sorry. This is, yeah, IR. So, ito yon. Ito yon. Inventory level at time of review. So, M minus IR to. Okay. And then, of course, density function of demand. So, ito, yung A, sa continuous review, that's the fixed ordering cost. Ngayon, meron kang review, inventory review cost na sumama. So, remember, pag nagre-review ka, okay, nagre-review ka, you also place an order at the same time. Kaya itong every 2 weeks na to, sa example na to, every 2 weeks, you have review cost and order placement cost. Dalawa na ngayon yung cost mo, order cost and review cost. Yan yung A. H is still the holding cost per unit. Itong T na to, capital T, is this cycle. Itong TR plus L. Yan yung T. Okay? So that's one cycle. And for periodic review models, the derivation of the formula is based on one cycle only. Okay? So, yung P is back order cost pa rin. Mu, as I've said, is the mean during lead time. Itong mu na to, okay, is the mean during lead time. Okay? Yung mga naka-purple na yan. Average yan during lead time. And then, small d is the expected value of the demand. Depende yan sa pag-break natin nito. No? If every period here in this cycle, in this TR plus L is monthly, okay? So kunya 2 months ito. 2 months itong review period natin. So we break it down per month, di ba? So ang D would be the expected demand per month. Okay? Pero if this cycle, itong TR na to 2 weeks, ibig sabihin every period is 1 week, di ba? So therefore your D would be the expected demand per week. Is that clear? So it depends kung ano yung review cycle mo. Okay? So tingnan nyo na lang mabuti. But this is the weekly, the monthly, or the yearly demand depending on the cycle here. And then, okay, beginning inventory. As we've said, this is M minus mu. Kung dito tayo mag-uumpisa, that is your M minus mu. And your ending inventory would be M minus mu. Ito, ano? So if this is your beginning, M minus mu, no? Right after the order or the delivery comes, ito yung inventory natin, M minus mu. Your ending will be here. Okay? Your ending would be whatever this level is minus, let's say, the weekly demand times the review period. So take note that itong line na to, okay, itong line na to spans 2 weeks. Okay? Itong line na to, always spans 2 weeks. And 2 weeks happens to be your review period, TR. Okay? So, what happens here during these 2 weeks is you have to multiply this by D, yung demand. Okay? Yung, di ba, sabi natin, the demand per week times 2 weeks will give you how much is depleted from your M minus mu. Kaya your ending inventory here, itong nasa sa baba na to, your ending inventory here will always be, nasa left side na ako, M minus mu minus the demand per week, in this case, times the review period, 2 weeks. Ito, yan. 2 weeks lahat yan. Okay? So yan yung ending inventory mo. Now, all of these are useful to help to bring you to the derivation of the total order and review cost, the total holding cost, kasi total holding is beginning plus ending, okay? Beginning plus ending divided by 2. Okay? Then you will come up to this. So order, holding, just like your continuous review, no? Order, holding, and then you will have back order costs here, expected back ordered units, okay? And then the back ordered cost is this one. Okay? So, ito lang yung kailangan yung malaman. Itong back-ordered cost, itong holding cost, ito, and then itong ordering and review cost. Those 3 cost components. Those are all you need to know. And, as I've said, importante dito is the total time when demand is present, no? So, ang total time ng demand is present, we consider this whole period of the review, okay? Itong duration habang iniintay mo yung next review, plus the lead time, okay? Itong review period plus lead time period will now be the demand or the cycle in consideration. Ito yon, yung one decision cycle natin. TR plus L. Kaya makikita niyo dito that the demand is expressed in terms of TR plus L. Ibig sabihin, the demand, capital D is the demand per decision cycle. Okay, the demand per decision cycle. Whereas small d in this slide, okay, if you can see it, small d is the demand per time period, okay, of that cycle. So kung ang cycle natin is weeks, no, then demand per week yon. Okay, yung tinitingnan natin, expected demand per week yon, yung small d. Itong big D is a random variable, okay, which represents the demand for the whole decision cycle of TR plus L. So the derivation, as you can see, was derived based on TR plus L. Ginamit uli ang Leibniz rule to get the optimal M that would optimize EC. And then, I think ang final formula is this one. This one. Okay? So, to solve periodic review models class, ang procedure is no longer iterative. Okay? Kailangan nyo lang itong equation na to, okay? Kailangan nyo itong equation na to para ma-solve ninyo yung M, okay? Pag na-solve nyo yung M, masosolve nyo next yung BM, itong BM na to, and the formula is actually this one. Okay? Pag na-solve nyo yung BM, masosolve nyo yung expected cost. So, three things that you need to solve for periodic review model. Since this is just one cycle, okay, one decision cycle, you need to solve for, again, ulitin ko, take down notes na lang. You need to solve for M. Kung mapapansin niyo, nasa limits ng integral yung M. Ito. Okay? At ito yung sinosolve natin dyan, yung M. Okay? Once we solve M, we will solve for BM using this formula. Okay? So BM would now depend on the distribution of demand. No? Pag normal ang distribution ng demand, same formula ang gagamitin as the continuous review backorder and stack out. Diba? May special formula tayo every time the distribution is normal kasi hindi tayo makapag-integrate kapag ka normal distribution. So we use the normal distribution table. So same formula as our previous lesson kapag itong function na to ay normal. Okay? And then once you solve BM, you can plug it in here, okay, to solve for the expected cost. So papalitan nyo lang itong integral na to kasi ito yung para sa BM eh. Papalitan nyo lang to by BM. Put this here. Okay? BM will be here. Once na-solve nyo yung BM, tanggal na to, you can now solve for the expected cost. So let's illustrate that through problem example number 9. Okay. So assume that an item can be ordered at a cost of 20. So alam natin, A, kaya class, you need to familiarize with this. Ito, itong slide na to. You need to know the notation lang. Okay? So, once you know the notation, pag may given, you would now be able to write down the given. So, it costs 1 per week to store. Storing means holding. Okay? So, therefore, that is H. Let me save space here. That is H. 1 per week. Okay? Understood by the way, kahit na anong ilagay ko dyan, 1 per unit per week. No? Understood na yan. Pag holding cost is always per unit per period. Okay, 1 per unit per week. Okay, next. And ano tong 5? Sa notation.
So that's the back order cost.
Okay, what's the notation?
P po.
P.
For
Okay,
5.
so therefore, P is equal to 5. Correct? Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. How about the 10? What is that? A 10 peso review cost. So this will now tell you that this is a periodic review model. Kasi sa continuous review, wala namang review cost eh, di ba? So alam mo na periodically nagre-review ka, kaya periodic review cost ito. So saan ko ilalagay yung 10?
Sa A, sir.
Sa A. So therefore, Add to A. Tama. Okay, so plus 10. So, ang total A mo ngayon will be 30. So, pag gumamit kayo ng A na 20 sa formula nyo, mali na. Pag 10 ang ginamit nyo, mali na rin. Kailangan 30. Okay? Total ordering and review cost yan. Assume that the demand, okay? Demand per week. Sulat ko lang ha. Is normally distributed. Okay? Normal daw. And alam naman natin na kapag normal, meron yang mu and sigma. Tama? From your N.1, mu and sigma. Now, class, I do not want you to confuse itong mu ng normal distribution with the mu that I discussed here. With the mu here. Okay? Kasi yung mu dito, look at the left side of your screen, from the definition, ito yon. Kung nakikita nyo, mu. Mean yan ng demand. It's the same demand anyway. Look, this is the demand eh. Okay? This is the demand every week eh. Alright? So this demand follows a normal distribution daw. So therefore, itong demand during lead time should follow the normal distribution also. Tama? Kasi it's the same demand. Diba? Pareho naman ng distribution nila normal. Pero sa notation kasi natin, yung mu is used to denote the average demand, okay, in this time period, during this time period of the lead time. Okay? So average demand yan during the lead time. Eh nagkataon, if your lead time is 1 week, okay, balik ako sa problem. You will see here that the demand per week is normal with a mean of 12 and a variance of 1. Find the target level of inventory if the review period is 2 weeks. Nakalagay din dito that the lead time is 1 week. Nakuha niyo yan? So, ibig sabihin, in the problem, the lead time, okay, the lead time is 1 week. Ito yon. Ito yung 1 week na to, lead time. And the demand daw, which is this slope here, the demand slope during this lead time follows that normal distribution. Yung pattern niya is normal distribution. So therefore, the average of this demand is the average per week. Did you get me? That's the average per week. And this demand is normal. So since given us a problem natin that the demand per week is normal with a mean of 12, then therefore this mean, okay, this same mean is the mean during lead time. Do you follow? If you look at this, itong buong line na to happens from here to here. It happens in a span of 2 weeks, from period 1 to period 3. So the demand throughout the 2 weeks, okay, is said to be normally distributed. Okay? Normally distributed yan. Pero in the problem, ang given kasi demand per week is normal. Doesn't matter. If the demand per week, itong demand na to is normal, this demand is also normal. Diba? And therefore, the total demand is also normal. Do you get me, class? In other words, isa lang ang distribution ng demand. Okay? Kahit 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks span, isa lang ang distribution. So since ang lead time mo 1 week sa problem na to, lead time is 1 week, and the demand per week is normal with a mean of 12, then you know that the mean demand, the average demand of the normal distribution is 12 for 1 week. So ito na yon. So yung nagkataon yung mu ng normal distribution for 1 week is the same mu for the lead time kasi lead time is 1 week. Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
What if the lead time is 2 weeks and you're given the same information in the problem that the mean is 12 and the variance is 1? What if the demand is the distribution of demand is per week but the lead time is 2 weeks? So let's say itong buong to lead time. So ganun pa rin, di ba? If you know that the average demand per week is 12 for the normal distribution, which is per week, then for 2 weeks, the demand will be, the average would be, will it still be 12? itong demand during lead time? Pag ang lead time mo 2 weeks. Will it still be 12? Again, importante to. Okay? Itong mean na 12 units ito eh. Average demand daw is 12 units. Pero kailangan, naintindihan nyo na 12 units per week yon. So if the lead time is 2 weeks, then all you have to do to calculate this mu here, itong the average demand during lead time, is to multiply the 12 by 2. Tama ba? So yung average demand of 12 units per week, magiging 24 units every 2 weeks, which is your lead time. Kapag nagbago yung lead time. Is that clear? So let's go back. So demand per week, kaya importante sinusulat ito. Demand per week is mu with is normal with a mean of 12 per week. Okay? Lagay nyo per week ha, kasi per week yung demand distribution eh. And then it has a variance equal to 1, okay, per week. Okay, the variance is 1 per week also. Okay, so now, what's important in solving periodic review models? So nasulat na natin lahat, no? And then I think the last information na na-miss out natin is the lead time is 1 week. So actually, pinrepare ko tong illustration na to para magamit ko na rin for our example number 9, where the review period from here to here is 2 weeks. And then may lead time ka na 1 week. So ito ngayon yung isang cycle mo. Okay? So what will we do? So once you have written down the given information, ang pinapahanap sa iyo is find the target level of inventory. Isa lang ang question sa periodic review model. It's always the target level of inventory M. And then I think if the review period is 2 weeks, we have to write it down. No? Review period is 2 weeks. TR is equal to 2 weeks. So there, we have all the given information for example number 9. So ang kailangan natin i-solve ngayon is M. And to solve for M, we make use always, okay? We make use always of 3 items, no? We will solve for 3 items. One is for you to use this formula here. Okay? So, tingnan nyo tong nasa ilalim, ha? Ito. Okay? And just like what we did in back order and stock out case, the first equation would be, the left side would be the probability of the demand for the entire cycle, TR plus L. So again, useful then when you write down the given information is to determine your TR plus L. TR plus L in this problem is equal to 2 plus 1, or that is equal to 3 weeks. Okay, so TR is 2, lead time is 1 week. So TR plus L is 3 weeks. So yung demand na pinapakita dito, itong capital D, is the demand per 3 weeks. Okay, per TR plus L. So but again, it shouldn't concern you. Alam naman natin 3 weeks yan. And therefore, this equation on the left side from M to infinity is just the probability that demand is greater than M, and that is equal to your holding cost. Solve na natin, ha? So that's H times TR divided by P, or that is equal to 1 times 3 divided by 5, or equal to 0.4. Okay? So that's always the first. So is that clear, class? For the periodic review models, the first thing that you solve is always this, using this equation here. Translate it to D greater than M equal to 0.4. Kasi kailangan natin makuha, since itong D na to, for 3 weeks, no? Ang demand per week is normal eh. So therefore, per 2 weeks, per 3 weeks, per 4 weeks, whatever it is also following the normal distribution. Okay, so pag normal distribution, since you know the area, so again, kung i-drawing natin, ito yung D, di ba? Alam natin na itong area na to, sorry. Alam natin, 0.4 yan. Di ba? So, hinahanap natin dito yung value ng M. Ito. Yan ang hinahanap natin. Okay? So, therefore, in order to solve for this one, you need to determine the value of Z. Ito. Kailangan nyo makuha yung value ng Z.
Sir, question lang po. Yung
Yes.
dito sa HTR, yung tabi po ng 1, 3 po ba nun? Or dapat po 2? 1 times?
2.
Okay.
Thank you. 1 times 2. Review period kasi si TR eh. So 2 yon. Okay? Lead time is 1. TR plus L is 3. So 2 lang dapat. So 0.4 siya. Okay? So ngayon, pag alam mo na yung 0.4, kasi yan yung starting point ng solution natin for M eh. Pag alam mo na yung 0.4, makukuha mo na yung M eh. Kasi all you have to do now is look for the value of Z in the table, in the normal distribution table, to the left, no? Since 0.4 is the area to the right, you need the area to the left, which is 60%. Kaya 1 minus 0.4. Okay, so hanapin niyo yung 1 minus 0.4, and that is what we have here. Ayan, point. Okay, remember my instruction. Sundin yung instruction sa test class. So the exam will tell you the instruction. Whether you should interpolate and get the exact value or you just get the closest value. In this problem, pag nag-interpolate ka, 0.255 ang lalabas sa Z. Pero if you just get the closest value to 0.6 na probability, kasi 0.6 yung area to the left eh, get the closest value, 0.25 yung magiging sagot. So once you get 0.25, you know that that Z value is equal to your variable, your unknown value M minus mu, okay, and the mean, okay, that you will, okay, lagay ko muna ito, M minus mu over sigma. So dito nagkakamali palagi. Okay, anong gagamitin na value for mu? Anong gagamitin na value for sigma? Okay, so kaya dapat importante, babalik kayo dito. Okay, ano ba ang random variable mo sa problem na to? Ang random variable mo is capital D. And capital D is demand for 3 weeks. Makinig kayo class ha. Ito yung source of error palagi. Capital D in this equation in this equation where you solve for 0.4 at ginamit niyo yung 0.4 dito sa graph na to, ang capital D mo is the demand for 3 weeks having a normal distribution. So I should write it down. This is the demand for 3 weeks, yung TR plus L palagi. Okay? And therefore, since this is the demand for 3 weeks, following a normal distribution, you should use the mu for 3 weeks and the sigma for 3 weeks. I hope that's clear. Okay? If your demand here is for 1 week, then okay yung 12 at saka yung 1 gamitin. But by the way, variance of 1, ito yung suggestion ko sa inyo class in the test, kapag normal distribution, pag variance ang given, mu and variance ang given, compute nyo yung sigma agad. Eh nagkataon, variance and sigma are the same, di ba? Kasi 1 siya eh. Di ba? So compute nyo agad yung sigma. Sigma is equal to 1. Okay? Per week. Compute nyo agad yung sigma. So kunyari, given, variance is 16. Okay, variance is 16. Compute nyo agad yung sigma. 4 yon. Is that clear, class? Tip ko lang to para hindi kayo magkamali. So if you're dealing with normal distribution tapos periodic review problem, yung mu as is yan, but the variance convert it to sigma. Pag sigma na ang given, then no problem. Okay? So now, you will see that you're given 12 and 1. Okay? 12 yung mu, sigma is 1 per week. Kaya importante nilalagay nyo per week. But your random variable here is per 3 weeks. Okay? Per 3 weeks. Therefore, the mu and the sigma that you will use here should also be per 3 weeks. And hence, anong gagamitin natin? M minus, what will mu be? If mu is 12 per week, what is 3 weeks na average?
36 po.
Okay, 36. And if sigma is 1 per week, what would be 3 weeks?
3 po.
Okay, 3. That explains why 36 and 3. So the reason why I'm discussing this again is mali eh. Mali yung ginamit dito eh. Ang ginamit kasi niya, ang variance ang minultiply. Tingnan niyo to ha. Ginawa niya variance yung 3. Okay? Variance yung 3. Yung variance ang minultiply niya by 3. Mali yon. Kasi law of variance tells us that if you want to get 3 times of the variance, the 3 has to be squared. Ilalabas mo yung 3. 3 squared. Magiging 9 yan. So square root of 9, sigma should be 3. Okay? So dapat sigma 3. So since variance yung minultiply niya ng 3, ang nangyari is, tingnan nyo yung m minus mu over sigma niya. Yung sigma niya, ginawa niya, since 3 yung variance, square root of 3. Mali yan. Okay? Ito yung tama. Sigma should be 3. Okay? Kaya ang tip ko sa inyo, do not work with variance kapag binumultiply nyo by the number of weeks. Okay? Always convert the variance first into sigma and then imumultiply nyo na lang. Kunyari, per week ito, tapos 3 weeks yung kinukuha nyo, multiply mu and sigma by the number of weeks. Yun yung tama. And then use it here. So now, is this clear, class? 0.25 is equal to m minus 36 over 3. That would give you an m, masosolve nyo na ito ngayon. M is equal to 36.75. Yan. Okay, so that's the first step to answer the question. Tingnan yung tanong. Find the target level. Nasagot nyo na yung target level. Okay? Which is 36.75. Tapos na actually yung example 9. Yan lang hinihingi eh. Okay? Pero, more often than not, like in the quiz, hihingin din yung expected cost. Okay? Hihingin ito, class. Hihingin itong expected cost na to. This one. Okay? Hihingin yan. So pag hiningi ito, kailangan nyo yung BM. Okay? Again, expected cost is ordering cost. Lakihan ko to. Ordering cost plus holding cost plus back order cost. Pero itong back order cost, ito yon. Hindi mo na kailangan tong may integral. Ito lang yon. Ipapasok mo dito. Okay? So, therefore, para ma-solve nyo, alam nyo na yung A, alam nyo yung TR, H, M, mu, TR, D, yung D, alam nyo na rin. That's 12. Okay? And P, TR, alam nyo na lahat eh. Ang hindi mo na lang alam, BM. Kaya, kailangan tong BM equation na to. Okay? And this BM equation is true for all other distributions except normal. Pagka normal distribution, ito yung susundin natin. Okay? So far, dito sa pin-repair ko, let's say, tinatanong sa problem yung expected cost. Dito sa pin-repair ko, alam nyo na itong Z, 0.25. Alam nyo na itong M, 36.75. So now, we want to solve for BM. Okay? Itong BM na to. So itong BM na to, if you remember, last time, back order and stock out, meron tayong FR minus mu over sigma tsaka GR minus mu over sigma. Okay, if you remember, sige, baka nakalimutan nyo na eh. Ito. Yan, this slide. We will follow this. Instead na BR, kasi last time R yung sinusolve natin na decision eh. M ngayon tayo, so BM. M yung decision natin sa periodic review, so BM. So same formula. Sigma times lahat ng R, palitan nyo lang ng M. Okay? Change R to M, we will use the same formula. Kaya, kinompute natin yung Fm minus mu over sigma. Look at the left side. The formula for M minus mu over sigma is 1 over square root of 2 pi times E raised to negative 1/2. And then itong M minus mu over sigma is this one. Ito yon, which is the Z value that we got from the table. Kaya, substitute 0.25 here. Okay, substitute 0.25 here and square it according to the formula. So, we are actually computing F and G. F and G kasi na-doon siya sa formula. Ito yung F, ito yung G. Na-diyan siya sa formula to get BM. Since we need BM to calculate the expected cost, then that's why we're doing this. Class, is this clear? Kung paano ko nakuha tong Fm minus mu over sigma. All of these are constants, di ba? Pi, E, constants. Ang kailangan mo lang i-fill in dito sa formula ng Fm minus mu is this one. Okay, yan lang. But this one has already been computed. Tinuro ko na to last meeting. Na ang value na to is always the Z value in the previous iteration. Di ba? So since the Z value here is 0.25, plug in the 0.25 lang dito. Okay? Then you will get this value. Then next, tinuro ko na rin last meeting yung G. G is the area to the right of Z. Okay? Based on definition. So, tingnan nyo to. Area to the right of Z. This area here to the right of the Z value of 0.25, of course, is the same as the area sa taas, 0.4. Okay? At yun yung nakuha natin using this formula. Yung critical ratio formula, 0.4. So, your area is always, area to the right, G is always the same as your critical ratio, yung 0.4. So, dyan ko nakuha yon, yung 0.4 na yon. Okay? So, pag meron na kayong F and G, you have F and G, you can now apply it to this BM formula over here. Okay? This is sigma times F. So, sigma, again, as I've said, ang correct application ng sigma is 3, hindi square root of 3. Mali yung nasa handout. 3 dapat. So sigma for 3 weeks is 3. You're actually computing the cost per cycle, which is TR plus L. Para maintindihan nyo. Kaya 3 yung ginagamit natin na sigma. TR plus L yan yung cycle. Okay? So 3 sigma times F. Ito yung F value. Copy lang. Plus, the formula tells us mu minus M. Okay, instead of Rm, mu minus M. Mu for 3 weeks is 36. Okay, as we have used here. 36. Okay. Let's write it clearly. 36. Okay. And then, R or M is 36.75. Ito yung na-solve natin kanina. We need that to calculate BM. Okay. Then, times G. Your G is 0.4. Ito yun. So, once you have this equation, following itong nasa left side, you have BM equals 0.8 times 4.5. Check nyo na lang yung calculation ko kung tama. So, once you have BM, you're now ready to calculate ito, EC. So, just plug in, expected cost per cycle. You will see that the first part of the formula is A over TR. A is 30. So, dyan na papasok yung mga sinulat natin given kanina. So, A is 30 over TR. Review period is 2 weeks. So, 30 over 2. Okay, so yun, first term. Second term is holding cost is 1 per unit per week. Again, since yung time period natin is on a per week basis, then that's 1 per unit per week times the demand naman is expressed in terms of, so ito, 36.75, okay, minus, so look at the formula, M is 36, so H is 1, M is 36.75, and then you'll have minus mu, okay, mu is the demand during lead time, which is since lead time is 1 week, the mean is 12. Okay? So again, do not confuse this with the mu that you used here. Okay, which is 36. Okay, kasi ang distribution nito is demand per 3 weeks. Ito, ang formula is mu is based on the definition of mu, which is the expected demand during lead time. Okay, so since the lead time is 1 week, then you have to get the average demand per week, which is 12. Okay, so those are the important details, no, or points that you need to remember. And then 1 minus 1/2 times D, your D here, small d, is your expected demand per week, as I've said earlier. Since weekly yung division natin ng periods natin, expected demand per week ito, times the number of review period, the TR, okay, every TR, so 2 weeks. So substitute lang, make sure you substitute the right values. And then the last term would be P over TR, 5 over 2 times your BM, which is 0.8945. As you can see, you need BM first, okay, for you to be able to calculate the expected cost per cycle. And it comes out to be 29.99. Okay? So if that is clear, you review this problem thoroughly. No, itong discussion ko, I send you the recorded lecture. Review it thoroughly, and then hopefully you understand it. Now, if I ask you, for example, as a test, if I ask you, what if I consider a review cycle, review period of 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks? Igagawin kong 3 weeks. So you can do the same process all over again. Okay? Except that, palitan nyo yung 2 weeks to 3 weeks, recompute. Okay? Okay, i-recompute nyo. Siyempre, pag ang review period ko 3 weeks class, ang magbabago is this one. Okay? Your Z value, tingnan natin. Ito, magbabago to. Itong first step natin. Okay? First step, magbabago to. Let me label this as, okay na yan. Magbabago yan. Kasi 3 magiging 3. So, magiging 0.6 yan. So, therefore, yung Z value mo, magbabago. Okay? Tapos, more importantly, magbabago tong dalawa. Kasi, if your review period is 3 weeks, then your TR plus L would now be 4 weeks. So dapat mu for 4 weeks and sigma for 4 weeks, magiging 48 and 4 ito. So magbabago ngayon yung M. So pag nagbago yung M, kukumputin nyo uli ito. Okay, this one. Magbabago lang itong 0.25. Ito magiging 0.6. Magbabago to. Okay? So once mayroon ka nito, compute nyo uli yung expected cost per cycle. Okay? So, how do you decide which one is a better review period, kung 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Iko-compare nyo on the basis of this expected cost. If the expected cost for 2 weeks, like in this case, no, 2 weeks, is lower than 3 weeks, then you go with 2 weeks. Pero kapag mas mataas ito than what you will get for 3 weeks, then you go for the 3 weeks.